All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Back at it again, a little Tuesday night action. So first, hopefully everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend. I know it's one of those things we all celebrate, and sometimes it seems to kind of get a little lost in as to why it is that we're even celebrating what it is that we're celebrating. So I think what we probably need to do before we go any further is just kind of raise a glass. I'm going to pour a little something here, and in the memory of those men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice to allow us to have beach days and pool days and barbecues and all that. Without all of them, we would not be able to do all that, that's for sure. So before we get going, let me just say hi. We'll raise a glass here in just a second, but let me get back to this. And we will say hi to a few people. Just wanted to make sure it was live. So, all right, let's see here. Let me check one more thing here, and we will get going. There we go. A little delay on my end, but we're okay. And we might actually have a special guest tonight, somebody who's very familiar with the bottle giveaway. I'll leave it at that. It'll probably hopefully pop in here before too much longer, and we'll have a good night tonight. Tonight's going to be kind of an easy, just kind of getting back into to everything, and coming off the weekend, the long weekend that everybody had. Hopefully, I'm sure a lot of us had probably a few too many pours. So that's one of those things where it's easy to do, and why this thing is just not cooperating. I've got to be able to pay attention to the chat on here, because the StreamYard part is so delayed that there we go. Now we're back at it. So let me go back real quick. Let me say, and then we'll raise a glass to all the men and women who again paid the ultimate sacrifice. And again, it's so important that we're honoring what it is that they did for us to have the freedoms that we do. So, we can't say and do nearly enough for, those men and women who, again, paid that ultimate sacrifice. So, all right, let me go back to say hi to a few people, and we will get the show on the road. So, all right, first up, Cheech, how's it going, my man? Thanks for jumping in tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Both Ethan and Katie Turk, how are you guys doing? Hopefully everything is well with you guys, and the move is going well. So look forward to hearing a little bit more about that. John T, Julie L, hey Jules, how's it going? The Brewbaker Maker, Ernie, how's it going, sir? What else we got? Griff Howie, one of the men at cigarclub.com. How's it going, my man? Eric Mays, how's it going, fellow Wisconsinite? How's it going, buddy? Whiskey Nose, how's it going? Christopher David, Jim Mueller, Jim Morris, Cam Lochner, Trevor Kunkel. Hey, Trevor, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Hopefully all of the farming stuff is going a little smoother for you right now. So Roy R does things. We'll get back to Roy in a minute. He's got something special to share with everybody too. Adriana, Whiskey Mountains, how's it going? Sugar Kitty, my man John Kranz, how's it going, John? Troy, pop him, don't watch him. Go check him out. Darrell Stewart, how's it going, Darrell? Right, thanks for jumping in. Richie Z, my man. Lord Schlong, how's it going, my man? I know you guys had a hell of a weekend. I know that. So Nick Proman, how's it going, Nick? Drums and Drams, hey Cam, how's it going? Thanks for jumping in, bud. Who else we got? All right, I think that's maybe it. If I missed you, JG, Aiden, how's it going? Mr. NASSIF himself, Dave Friedman, Wade Ward, how's it going, Wade? All right, I think we're all caught up on that. So as you can see, any $5 super chat will get you entered into the winning or drawing for the NASSIF Family Reserve. So tonight will be a fun one. This I've kind of heard, I really enjoy it. So I had 3 bottles of it, and we're slowly working our way through some of those. But I figured, I may as well share one of them. And, it was one of those deals where, I knew it wasn't super easy for a lot of people to find. So I wanted to kind of give something back to you guys, give you a little shot at maybe getting in on on one of these bottles. I know when I picked them up, I actually bought the last of what they had. So they come and go pretty quickly. So, all right, I will shut up for 1 second and pour something, and we will make a toast to, again, all the men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice for, us to have the freedoms that we have and allow us to do things like this and drink whiskey and, do all of those fun things that we like to do. So everybody raise a glass to all the men and women who, again, paid that ultimate sacrifice for us to have our freedoms that we have. So cheers, salute to all of the men and women who, again, paid that sacrifice. Cheers. So I'm starting out with a little bit of the Maker's 46 cast strength. Just came or popped into my area. I don't see much of the Maker's 46 cast strength really at all for the most part. So I was glad to see it popped up actually at a local Costco. So it was kind of interesting. I think it was either 50 or 55 bucks. So I thought that was a pretty solid play, or a pretty solid price for the Maker's 46 cast strength. So, and this one was coming in at 110.3 proof. So nice solid proof on that one. I know Makers, they're limited in terms of what they do, and they've got a lot of picks that are out there. They've got their kind of their limited edition series that they put out, the wood series, wood finish series, all those different things. And those are always a really big hit. So I figured, what the hell, I'll pick this one up. I've had a lot of the Maker's 46 before, and it's a really solid kind of everyday, but you kind of bump it up in proof and you get that at cast strength, even better. I am assuming that they're not doing any chill filtration at cast strength. I could be wrong, but I doubt that. So anyway, all right, let's see what everybody else has got going on. So I'll be interested. Tonight's going to be a little bit of a sample night. I've got a little bit of a box of samples. Not only did the Brewbaker Maker provided a few of these samples, I got a few other ones mixed in, just kind of over here off to the side a little bit. I'll reach in there in a minute and we'll start pulling some of these things. But yeah, so I'm really kind of excited to get back into doing these. What I'm trying to figure out is, with summer coming, if anyone or everyone is interested in me doing these every single Tuesday or maybe every other Tuesday, because I know things in the summer get busy, and coming off of all the COVID stuff, I know people are going to start getting busy throughout the week and just the summer and vacations and all that. So if you think I should do, every week, let me know, or every 2 weeks, whatever your thoughts are, and I'll kind of see how all of that goes. So, all right, let me get back to the Makers here. Yeah, I think this one, I've got a review coming pretty soon. I actually still have to record it. Did a little bit of note taking and everything the other day for the Maker's 46 cast strength. And I'll tell you, I think for that price point, 55 bucks, it's kind of a no-brainer. It's a really solid, bourbon, I would say, for that, especially, on the weeded side of things. I think it offers a significant upgrade to the standard 46, of course. But just getting something a little, again, at cast strength makes such a huge difference. So Heather, thank you so much. I really appreciate. I really want that bottle. Can't get anything like that here in the Keys. Yeah, this is kind of what I've heard. A lot of people who see that I have it always say to me that they can't seem to find it. So I figured, well, I've got 3 of them, and thought I'd do a little fun kind of giveaway thing tonight and get everybody involved and see how that goes. So Heather, you are officially number 1. I will write your name down. I don't know if anybody else in the chat, if any of the mods are going to be here all night and they want to keep track of any of this stuff. It's sometimes really difficult to keep up with all the super chats and kind of keeping an eye on all of it, but I'll do my best to see what we've got. So hopefully everybody had a nice Memorial Day weekend. I'm always interested to hear what everybody was kind of sipping on and doing, what what you guys, you know, kind of what you did, you know, hang out with family and friends and all that, pretty typical barbecues, grilling, all of those good things. But what were you, what was everyone kind of sipping on? Always interested to hear what everyone's kind of plans and stuff were. So thanks, A. I appreciate that. So looks like Heather is in the running. She's #1 so far. So appreciate it. And my man Richie Z coming in with a $4.99. Appreciate that, buddy. I've never seen or tried it. I think you'll really enjoy it. So hopefully before too much longer, we'll have a little special guest pop in and kind of somebody who knows a little something about the NASSIF Family Reserve. So we'll see how that all goes. So, but yeah. So what was everyone sipping on over the holiday weekend? Always interested to hear what people like, maybe what you dislike, all of those good things. So what was Ernie saying here? Oh, interesting. I bet that was a ton of fun. Yeah, that was a heck of a race. That's for sure. I wasn't able to watch all of it. I watched some of it, but the Indy 500 is always one of those things. Kind of the same thing with, you know, as far as like NASCAR and IndyCar and all that. I somehow seem to gravitate a little bit more towards the Indy cars than I do kind of like the NASCAR stuff. But you know, hey, to each their own. It's all a lot of fun and a lot of racing. So, Amy, how's it going? Good to see you, Aim. Hopefully you had a nice weekend. My man Griff Howie, how's it going, bud? He apparently couldn't figure out how to type anything in there after he left me a nice $4.99. So I do appreciate you contributing, and hopefully you win. You're in the running. That's for sure, bud. What else we got? Cheech. Oh, what batch? This is, let's see. Good question. Batch number 9. I heard batch number 9 is the best one. I don't know, but sounds good anyway. So yeah, so batch 9 on the NASSIF Family Reserve. So I'm digging it. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a really good, you know, sipping American whiskey, and it would do really, really well based on the proof and its flavor profile in cocktails. Holds up really, really well. Actually, I made a couple of old fashions with the other bottle that I've got open. This is one of them. I've actually got another one that I've got over on my bar that I use just for some of the cocktails and stuff. It went over really well, so I just left it there and figured I would just leave it there and make some cocktails with it. So Steve says the FAE01 was my drink over the weekend. Yeah, so that's another nice one. I haven't had that one yet, but it's one of those things where, you know, you hear a lot of stuff. We don't get a lot of these things. Makers, for whatever reason, doesn't pop up in my area all that often, but it's you know, I'm glad that the Makers 46 cast strength really did. I mean, I was really happy with you know, being able to pick that up and at like $55, I thought that was a heck of a deal. I kind of jumped at that. Probably go and pick up another one as well. So, my man, Darrell Stewart, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Let me just check what it says. Nothing but good on you, brother. Love seeing these giveaways. I'm happy to throw a Blanton store pick in there for another winner. Holy cow. All right, bud. I really appreciate that. So Darrell is nice enough. Thanks, bud. I greatly appreciate it. I know you do a lot of stuff for military and some giveaways and all of those things. So yeah, any super chats that come in, the first one tonight, we'll do the first one that will be for the NASSIF, and then the second one will be for the Blanton store picks. Thank you very much, sir. I greatly appreciate it. So everybody get in on that deal. You've got a heck of an opportunity to pick up 2, you know, fantastic whiskeys. So hopefully everybody will get in on that. And yeah, Darrell, thank you so much for the super chat. Greatly appreciate it, and thank you even more for donating the bottle to tonight's kind of giveaway. So greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. So everyone who, you know, minimum $5 super chat will get you into the running tonight. So I'd like to try to do it rather than one person win both. We'll make it where if I guess really we can only draw one number one time. So that will eliminate all of that. So just want to be fair, and it's better to get more bourbon in more people's hands than it is for one person to get all of it. Now, some people would argue that they want all of it, but hey, it is what it is, and you gotta, sharing is caring in the whiskey world. So all right, let's go back through. I know I'm a little bit behind on some of these. So Scott Tyson, thanks, bud. From one Scott to another, count me in. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. You are in it to win it. So Amy the legend, how's it going, Amy? I appreciate it. Cheers all. Here's to Mash and Journey. Yes. So Jason and I, we've got some really fun stuff, some really good things coming. I mean, it's amazing what he and I have kind of been doing with everything and how involved. I mean, we went from talking about trying to put some stuff together for, everybody within the community and start doing some picks, and it got to the point where we were kind of like in a little bit of a stall pattern and nothing was really happening. We were having a difficult time. And then all of a sudden the floodgates opened and we had a lot of opportunities. So, we were very grateful and thankful for some of the people who kind of got involved with us and allowed us to really get involved and really just have a good time, get some fun picks. We'll kind of go over what we did last week before Memorial Day weekend, and that was a really fun one as well. So again, Amy, thank you so much. You are in it as well. Cheech, my man, you are in it as well. I love the NASSIF offerings. I have a couple of batches, but not number 9. There you go. Hopefully you get it on this. And it's kind of like, I love all the kind of that where it almost looks like they've drawn on the bottle and all of that. So there's just something about a bottle that has like a lot of like kind of handwriting and stuff on it. I love that old school-ish kind of look and everything. So let me go back here. Sorry if I'm trying to not miss anybody here. Let me go back here. Cheech we got. So I'm going to try to get back to DMC. Thank you so much. Finally get to hang with the Hawk. Yes, I love when people come and hang with the Hawk. It's I love hanging out with all you guys, and Tuesday nights I really look forward to it. Even if there's nothing going on, for me it's something going on, and having a good time just kind of chatting with all of you guys. So sipping on some Alberta Premium, really nice Canadian rye. I'll say it was kind of one of those things that was a bit, I'll say, underrated and probably never really totally got talked about nearly enough, but it was really a fantastic Canadian rye whiskey. So they did a really nice job. Pretty good price point on that one too. Lord Schlong, thank you so much. Yes, booyah for the NASSIF. Hopefully you are successful tonight, sir. Appreciate it. I know you had a long weekend with a lot of people, so that was cool of you guys to do some fun things. So Deborah C, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Yes, sharing is caring. JG 877 Mash Now Whiskey. Cheers. Thanks, JG. Appreciate it, buddy. Who else we got? I got to catch up here. I know I am a little bit behind. Brett Marcourt, thank you so much. Gonna throw my hat in, Scott. Never hurts to throw your hat in. Thanks for all you and Jason do. Can't find NASSIF in Colorado, so I'm hoping. Yes, sir. Hopefully you are. Hopefully you're in it tonight. So it is. I'm glad that I could do this, and it was one of those things I wanted to kind of do for a little while, but was waiting for a little better opportunity when there's not a lot of things going on, or it's just kind of very casual and all of that. So so Big Vic, yes and no. So we are literally waiting, like it could be any day now. We thought that there would have been something that may have come right around Memorial Day weekend, but it never came. So we're hoping literally any day that we start to get some word and a link, and we can start to send it out to our patrons. Again, that's one thing. If you're not a patron and you want in on the picks that Jason and I are doing, become a Patreon. The link will be in the description of this live stream. You can go and just pick a tier. What we're doing is we're starting with the highest donation tiers, and then we'll work our way down. So we'll launch the link with our highest tier supporters and then work our way down. So we figured that was probably the fairest in terms of how we can both do it, you know, unilaterally with our Patreon pages. So that's kind of what we're going to do. So anyway, a little update, the 4-gate, we're so excited for that, and hopefully that will be coming literally like any day now. We'll keep you posted. We did let everybody kind of know last week that things were coming. So all you patrons, you know, make sure you're paying attention to both myself and Jason's pages, and we'll launch the links for the particular tiers and then kind of go from there. So all right, Wade, thank you so much. Looking forward to those future Mash and Journey picks. Yes, we are too, and thank you so much for all the support. So maybe is that merch still available? Yeah, if so, there's some stuff linked below if you're referring to merch. One of the cool things that we have is these little kind of bottle tags. The merch guy that I do all my stuff through put a few of those together, kind of a cool little thing. So you can pick those up. Again, link in the description below of the video for any Mash and Journey merch. So, all right, I'm doing my best to kind of keep up. You guys are hammering away here. So Trevor Kunkel, my man, appreciate it so much. Excited for the giveaway. But when is the Mash and Journey for? Yeah, like I said before, any day, and we will let you guys know. So just stay tuned. Like this week, I'm hoping to God that we get a notification this week that we're ready to go. And as soon as we get it, we'll probably send out a quick little link letting everybody know that we'll send out a little message on the Patreon, just letting everybody know that we're about ready to release it, just so you guys know. So yeah, so this is also something that is in the works as well. So Jason and we've been in contact with geez, I just forgot his name. My God, Alan Bishop. Yeah, I don't know how I forgot Alan's name. Incredible guy, does some incredible things. So yes, a Spirits of French Lick pick is in the works. We just have to work out a few more details on that stuff. So let me get back up here real quick. I'll try to get through these things. Man, I can't even keep up here. I apologize. Sorry, guys and ladies. Katie, thank you so much. Cheers. Great content as always. Thank you so much for yours and Ethan's support. Greatly appreciate it. John T, here's the channel. Cheers, buddy. Thank you so much, John. Appreciate all of your support as well. I appreciate everyone's support. I mean, all of this is just having a great time, and I greatly appreciate everything. I can't say it enough and express how grateful I am for all of you guys and just everybody who supports the channels and what it is that we do as well. So Chad Mock, here's to supporting the channel and hopefully on winning a NASSIF. Yes, hopefully so. Remember, this is for not only the NASSIF, but Darrell is also putting up another bottle of Blanton's. I believe he said store pick before. So there's a lot of good stuff. So get in on these things. A couple of really good things tonight. So Roger Reese, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. Cheers, everyone. Been away for a bit, but glad to be back in Scott's house. Yeah, I wish I could invite everybody around. I'm going to try, for a local Midwest thing, I'll try to do a summer meetup at some point, and I'll probably get on a live stream before it all happens and see who's interested, who's in the area, who'd be interested in coming and all of that. So cheers, enjoying your shows. Thank you so much, Brian. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, sir. All right, what else we got? My man Cam Lochner, how's it going, buddy? Scotty, just ship it. Yeah, we're trying. I'll tell you, we're trying to do a lot of things. My fellow smoking buddy, how's it going, Mr. Dameron? Appreciate it. I'm in. Don't tell Griff, Howie, but this is my cigar club. Not really. That's good. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. What else we got? And Cheech, thanks for doing all the mods. Adriana, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Without you two in here tonight, I don't know how in the world I would even be able to keep up. So, all right. So here, Roy R does things. Roy is celebrating basically retirement. I think we all hope to get we all hope to get there someday and be able to kick back, have a great, whiskey, enjoy some time with friends and family, and not have to worry about the daily grind of the regular job. So Roy, congratulations, and I hope you enjoy retirement. I don't know how you can't. Hopefully you got some good things planned, and maybe some trips, or just enjoying sitting around and sipping on some whiskey. So all right, let me get back to, I think I'm almost caught up. DC, my main man, appreciate it, buddy. How you going, Cheech? Let's see if I missed anything else here. I don't think so. All right, let me get back on this one. Okay, all right. So anyway, so let me finish off. I don't even want to rush it real quick, but I'm really enjoying. I want to get to a little bit of the NASSIF and maybe share a little bit with you guys. So this is a long one. That's a good name. Alex Maple, Moose Smoked Meat Muffin. Alex, I should have figured that was you were going to change some name around. That's always a clever one. My brother from the north. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. Let's see what else we have. Mike, thank you, sir. Y'all gonna go kill me with these picks. Yeah, hey man, we're really trying. The one thing we're really focusing on is not necessarily like volume. We're trying to get a lot of different things like out there, like last week. So myself, Jason, Julie, Dan Lake, Todd Ritter, we all had the privilege of not only doing an Old Elk pick in itself, but we had Greg Metz, who is the former longtime master distiller at MGP. So all those old MGP bourbons and ryes that people go crazy about, he was responsible for doing a lot of that stuff. So I mean, that is a man who knows an awful lot about whiskey, distillation, all of that. So now he's over with Old Elk doing some really different and unique things. So again, last week, Thursday night, we sat down. A lot of you guys were probably part of that, and saw that we went through. We were able to pick an actual wheat whiskey and a wheated bourbon, and I'll tell you, they were both really good. I had some mixed feelings on one of them, only because there was a little bit of that smoke note that for me in a whiskey is a little bit different for me. I know a lot of people really enjoy it, but that's good. I mean, we ended up with two things that I think all of us really, really enjoyed. So the wheat whiskey and the wheated bourbon, both fantastic, and had no problem putting our names and our logo on either of those bottles. We'll be excited to see people get one or both bottles and just kind of do a little side-by-side of some of those. So DJ, thank you so much. Appreciate it, buddy. Scott, hope this evening is better. Yeah, it was today with work-wise, it was just one of those days where it seemed like all shit was hitting the fan. So I don't know what it was, but you and we all have experienced those days. So Adriana, thank you. Not to add myself, but hell yeah, add yourself. So all right, we got the man of the hour popping in here real quick. Let me bring him on, and this guy knows a little bit about what we've got going on. So let me bring him on, and we'll get going here. So there he is.
How's it going?
Gene, how's it going, buddy?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for jumping in for a few minutes. I know you got a limited amount of time, but hey, I'm glad you could take a few minutes and just kind of what I was hoping you could do is just while you're on is for anybody who's not familiar with Cat's Eye Distilling, this is the man behind all of the Obtainium, all of the craze that everyone's going over right now for the light whiskeys, and now the ryes and the American whiskey. I mean, hey, you guys are kind of killing it right now. So congrats on all of that stuff.
Yeah, thank you very much, and happy to be on. I had a bit of time. I just had to finish. I did a shepherd's pie. So you can go and check that out on Instagram. I killed it. I was really impressed with my work.
There
But
you go.
always happy to be on. Very happy with the success we've had over the last, I would say, 6 to 8 months. It was something I didn't even see coming. I'm excited to see what the future has in store, and I can tell you that it's another spirit. It's not whiskey. Check that out soon. It will be. Oh, let me get back into the. There we go. It will be under the NASSIF Family Reserve label, and it will not be a whiskey.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Wow, little bit of a tease. I wasn't necessarily expecting that info to be dropped, but yeah, I like the tease to see what in the world is going to be coming from that. That's cool.
Yeah, I've been very open about it. I got the samples coming tomorrow. I can go ahead and say it. It's a rum, 6 to 10-year-old rum, sourced throughout the Caribbean. The cool thing is it's aged in new oak, used whiskey casks, and port casks. It's a blend.
Interesting.
107 proof. And as always, with the NASSIF Family Reserve line, we like to be a reasonable value for the customer. So we're going to try to hit $39.99 retail to $45, depending on the market you're in.
And that's one thing I think I'll say with what you guys have done is you have done a really good job of hitting a really, really good price point with all of the stuff that you guys do. I mean, there's nothing that's there that's so out of whack. We all know, the companies that have everything that's out of whack necessarily, but you have done a really, really good job with just introducing really good whiskeys and now rum coming at a really good price point. So, congrats on that.
Yeah, thank you very much. And, the thing for us that I don't think people realize, and I received a little bit of criticism for it earlier in the year. I wanted to do a rye. I wanted to do NASSIF Family Rye. And it's currently on the back burner because I couldn't source good rye to hit the price point that I wanted. There are so many companies that will, the product's good, get it on the market. I don't care what we have to pay, and then the retail price goes up. But for me, especially after the pandemic, after I was without my 9 to 5 for a little bit. People are not able to just spend money like that, and to give somebody a value in a market where prices are going up across the board is good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think you kind of nailed it with that. I mean, and everybody is not always looking to spend, $150 or $200, a bottle. And there's some really good ones out there. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's some other really good, or good entry point priced whiskeys that also are supported by just great whiskey behind them. So you don't always have to go super crazy with all of these prices. And you and I mean, and a lot of us in here, we all know because it's more expensive does not mean it's better. We all know that. So you have to be a little whiskey educated on what it is you're getting and all of that. So let me ask you this. So the craze with the Obtainium, what was it that made you guys kind of want to get behind or release, some of the light whiskeys? I know we've got some nice aged light whiskey in the NASSIF Family Reserve as well. So
yeah, light whiskey was controversial when I first released it. I know there are even people listening and watching right now that have choice things to say about light whiskey. But the thing for me is when I tasted the light whiskey back in 2018, now it was that long ago, it was really good. And I'm not going to say it was a bourbon because I never once said that it was bourbon. I never once said it was rye. I never once said it was like a malt, but it was good for what it was. And what it was a well-aged whiskey that was used traditionally as a base for blending. And it turns out it tasted good on its own. And this isn't just light whiskey. Remember, Scotch single grain has had its time. People buy single grain Scotch and have for years now. And guess what? It's almost identical to light whiskey. The same goes for Canadian blending whiskey. The base whiskey used in a lot of Canadian blends is light whiskey at the end of the day. By definition, it fits the same used oak, higher distillation. What else? Used oak, high distillation, and typically a single grain, which is often corn or wheat, as I've found out. So, you know, that was what it was. I saw the history behind it, and I thought to myself, I can get this out on the market. And at that time, the bourbon was becoming harder and harder to find, the good MGP bourbon. And I thought, why don't I get this out there, and why don't I educate the consumer that if you look beyond the four squares of what you're used to, or the four corners of what you're used to, you can really find some interesting things and enjoy them.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's a really good point, is getting people a little bit out of their comfort zone, out of that whiskey box where everything is either, you know, bourbon, rye, scotch. Now you introduce or start to kind of build a little momentum with the light whiskey. I mean, I think you guys were kind of like right in there in the forefront of releasing like light whiskeys that were documented as light whiskey, where you made it well known that these are light whiskeys, that this is what this is. Now I know some people.
Single Cask Nation, I think Single Cask Nation did bottlings of it prior. High West had theirs, but I would say that the breakout article by Punch magazine about the return of light whiskey, that quoted me. So it was good that I was able to be on the forefront of that, and I was able to get out there and educate the consumer about it.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I know High West did theirs. Still, I think a lot of that fell a little flat. I don't think there was very much behind that for the most part. And I know you had mentioned Single Cask Nation, who did theirs. Again, a little bit more of a specialty type of thing. But I think for you guys, I think there was enough traction, and it was just kind of like really good timing on your part to not only be timed well, but to be putting out a really nice, you know, aged light whiskey. And that Obtainium was really, really fantastic. It flies off. We finally have started getting it around here, but it goes so quickly, it's ridiculous. So I had one bottle because I thought I could go back and get one. There were probably 15 or maybe 20 bottles on the shelf when I bought it. Went back the next day, gone. Everything was cleared. The only thing that they actually had was the NASSIF. I'm like, hey, man, I better pick up something or I'm going to lose out on this whole deal. So I did it. And anyway, so great job. Let me see. Let's see it. Thanks, Heather. Appreciate it. Here's all the great things that you and Jason are doing. We're going to talk to this Gene guy maybe and see if we can get in on some deal here at some point with the old Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So greatly appreciate it. We wouldn't mind. We know Big Sexy Matt Porter already got his hands on it. So good dude. He was probably the right dude to get in on it first. So Matt deserves a lot of credit. Great guy. So,
you know, I got to know him when he had, man, under 500 subscribers, I think. And I loved his personality more than anything. I thought that he was one of the nicest, kindest, but funniest dudes that there was. And I saw him going somewhere, and all of a sudden one thing leads to another. And it was cool to see his journey from, you know, within a year, 500 to 20,000, right?
Yeah, he's exploded and very deserving. I mean, Matt does a great job of mixing in, you know, not only his personality and the fun, but the knowledge that he has, and he's got a great palate. All of that works perfect. I mean, it's a great combo. I mean, I'm happier than pigs in shit for him. That's for sure. He's a really good dude. So I know Dan L appreciates your Obtainium. Dan's done a lot of lobbying, and Julie have done a lot of lobbying for the Obtainium. I know that. So thanks, Dan.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
And I am very thankful for Dan too. He connected me with some of his friends, and I'm getting a Ford Bronco because of him.
All right, that's pretty good. That's an interesting twist. That's for sure. So that's very cool. I mean, it's kind of very like, you know, whiskey community. Like it just somehow seems like everybody, all of us who are in here now and other people that we see, everyone's willing to kind of do a little something for everybody, you know, whether it shares something or just provide knowledge or introduce people, whatever it may be. I mean, it's such a great community. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Multiple stories. Chris Hart too. If anybody knows him, he reached out to me. Hey, I've got this brand. I'm trying to grow it. Can you give me some distributor names? And I think he's signed with like 2 or 3 now. Just through the connections that I had, was able to help him out.
Well, that's cool. So, I mean, it's just nice that there's so many really good people within this community, and just I don't know, it's really hard to describe because there's just not anything else that I've been part of where you've got just such a really good group of people, you know. And I think part of it has to do with what it is that whiskey in itself provides. You know, it's to slow down, you know, enjoy it with friends and family or whatever it may be, and just kind of take your time, have good conversations, and ultimately it kind of just leads back to, you know, good people enjoying each other's company, you know.
Yep. End of the day, you need to relax. You want to enjoy something with friends. You want to celebrate a special occasion. It's all done with spirits.
Yeah. Yep. There he is, the man himself, Big Sexy, ADHD Whiskey. He's out running some errands.
There you go.
He's listening though. He's out doing some hustling right now. So my man Brazier, I've got this bottle up here for him. This was courtesy of him and in Orland, who I believe is one of the owners at Woodinville. They're doing some really good things too. But cheers,
Wait,
Brazier.
one of the owners is on here?
No, he's not on here. No.
Well, I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, the bottle was given to me. It was given to him to give to us or me from the guy at Woodinville. So I greatly appreciate that.
I was gonna say I've begged them, all of the people that I know, to give me a contract there. I'm starting to look beyond MGP, specifically for the blending agents of NASSIF Family Reserve, so the bourbon and the rye. And I think that Woodinville has easily the best craft bourbon there is. So I've reached out to them and asked them, hey, can I do a new fill contract, which means I will purchase the barrels that you fill. And you know, they just don't have the capacity right now, and I've begged and begged. I really love their stuff.
Yeah, that's interesting that maybe they're getting to the point now where, you know, that they would even, I guess, kind of consider, I suppose, what contract distilling, I guess we could call it that, you know. I mean, to the point where I agree. I mean, that profile that they have there, it's really fantastic. And now as some of their stuff specifically has begun to, you know, age a little bit, it's really starting to round out really well. So I can see why you want to try to get in on that whole deal. So
yeah, they might have the best craft bourbon, period. I really do think that they're at that level.
Yeah, they've really stepped up their game. I know when they first kind of introduced some of their stuff, just typical of a lot of, you know, craft stuff, it just was still young, had kind of those younger, you know, grainier profiles. But now that we're starting to get into that, I think we're even close to 6 years on some of this stuff now. It's really starting to round out. That's kind of one of the cool things, because you go back to a lot of when the craft industry really started taking off, which is now that 5-6 years ago ish. Some of these companies are really starting to pump out some pretty good whiskey now that's got a little bit of age and stuff to it. So pretty good times in the whiskey world, that's for sure. So
yeah, now's definitely the time that you're starting to see who had a young product that turned out to be good and who just had an okay product. There have been a number of ones that have really impressed me. The Wilderness Trail weeded bourbon, it stood out as one of my favorite weeded bourbons ever, and that includes the Weller line.
yeah.
I've been beyond impressed by their weeded bourbon. I think that it's going to be at or above, and I'm trying to choose my words carefully. I think it'll be as good and in held in as high of regards as Weller before we know it.
Well, I mean, I would tend to agree, and I think the issue with it, there's so much hype around just the Weller itself, all of them. It seems like, I mean, obviously a few of them, but I agree. I mean, there's a lot of really good weeded bourbons out there. Now, Jason and I were just down there a couple weeks ago with the brew bakers. We were doing a wilderness trail, and we did a rye pick, but we were able to try a couple of other things. And I'll tell you, I mean, just their stuff and what Patrick Heist is doing there. I mean, it's just kind of incredible, and you can really see the writing on the wall as to where they are going with that whiskey and that brand and all of that. So I mean, like you, I'm super excited for what's to come there as well. So
yeah, and I think that they'll continue. I think, like I said, Woodinville is only as good things to come.
yeah,
I think that they're going to continue to just boom, boom, boom. And then I'm looking forward to seeing what some of these craft people do with other spirits. I think, I'm by no means the first person to say, hey, let's try a rum. But I do think I'm one of the earlier people, at least in craft whiskey, that said, I want to try rum, but I want to bring it to the market as a value. I think a lot of the crafts that are doing it right now are doing the 12-year at $100+, and then you've got somebody like me that's doing 6 to 10-year. A lot of it really is an evenly balanced 6 to 10 years, and there's just as much 10 years there is 6,
yeah.
and then the price point's $40. So I think that will be a new horizon. I think the other spirit to watch out for, especially since I've talked to Willet, and my understanding is that Willet will be releasing brandy very soon too. I think brandy will be the next big thing, along with rum.
I can see that, because I mean, I know we can't call it cognac here, but I'll tell you what, I've had some local brandies that's basically done in the same exact style, aged really well, that are absolutely fantastic. And when people really kind of get into some of those complex brandies, again, it's just another spirit that offers so much, just different flavors, and the complexity that some of them have, just like rums. I mean, rums offer so much. There's so much that goes into and where some of them come from. Like, I don't know if you're doing like a blend that involves like, multiple areas or whatever it may be, but man, oh man, there are some really, really excellent rums that not a lot of people know about. And again, you don't even have to get into big price points to really start to get into some nice rums. So
I got into, I would like to say I cut my teeth on rum with Dorley's, which is a Foursquare product.
Yep.
And I don't think I ever paid more than $35 for a bottle. And I got 12-year rum.
Yeah.
So
I mean, think about that. I mean, a 12-year rum for $35, that's coming out of the same factory, let's call it, that Foursquare is. I mean, it's a hell of a product for $35 if people understood and knew exactly what that was. It's absolutely incredible stuff. I'm really looking forward. I mean, knowing what you've had going on in the whiskey world, it'll really be interesting to try that rum once you introduce that. And when did you say you're going to try to have that like launched? I don't know if you said it before or not.
I do stupid stuff, as they say. I think that our brand is one of the quickest to bring product to market in all of craft. My idea of sourcing and bottling a rum came not even 2.5 weeks ago, I think. I contacted about half a dozen brokers to get a hold of good rum.
Mm-hmm.
Got a hold of his name's Luis. I forgot his last name. He teaches the rum course at Moonshine U, and he also does brokering. So I got into contact with him. It's all about meeting and connecting with the best people in the industry. So I connected with somebody that was the best in the industry. He's very good at sourcing rums. And I said, hey, I'm looking for this profile. I want something that I can, bottle at a good price point that is going to be something familiar for the whiskey consumer.
Yeah.
And then he gave me a list of product that he had available. And I got some prices on it. And I don't think it'll be more than, 3-4 weeks until we get it in.
Wow.
And have it bottled.
Man, that is fast.
So it went from a dumb idea, literally while I was driving my car to Minnesota, to to Chicago, not Minnesota.
Yeah.
It went from that dumb idea to hopefully hitting shelves within 2 months.
That's crazy. That's lightning fast. I mean, just knowing like what it takes to like select a barrel for a pick, to go through all that process, let them do what they need to do, and eventually get it out. I mean, you're looking at like lead times a lot of times of anywhere from 3 to 6 months just to get that's already done, let alone to go from an idea while you're driving concept to getting stuff, in and bottled and on shelves. That's lightning fast. So that's crazy.
The key is to have great people, to have a great network, to source from only the best. And that's just part of networking. I think that a lot of these other non-distiller producers oftentimes forget that it's your network that means everything. It's your distributors, it's your retailers, it's your brokers that sell you barrels on a daily basis. And the better relationships you have with them, the quicker you can get product and the quicker you can create.
No doubt. Maureen, thank you so much. I see you just had drinks with the Brewbakers Saturday night. Wilderness Trail Bourbon Barrel Aged Rum is my favorite. Interesting. Dan said something before. I know this was in regards to what you said. So yeah, so this is one of those things. Brandy is kind of an easy thing if you want to try to compare. A lot of people throw out cognac and all that. I mean, a lot of cognacs have some crazy ages and stuff to them, and they're fantastic. But you can get some just as good, slightly younger American brandies that are absolutely fantastic. So
yeah, a thing too that I came across when I was looking at brandies, unfortunately they wouldn't sell it to me, but it's O'Neill's. They're a company in California. They're a bulk producer of wine and brandy. They do it, they're big in the wine market, I'll put it that way. And they had 2.5-year and 3-year Muscat grape brandy aged in new oak. And the first time I tasted it, I sent a message to, I think, the Wisconsin group and a bunch of other groups. I said, hey, this is better than any bourbon I've ever had at the same price point and at the same age. So 2.5 to 3-year, easily better. Oh, you're full of crap. You're full of this. You're full of that. I'm being dead serious. Even to this day, for a 3-year-old product, holy cow, was that good. And I really do hope that people get into it, and I hope that we see more of it hit the market.
Yeah.
I hope that I can source some too once they decide to sell it to me. Well, yeah, the unfortunate thing was, the two things were they wouldn't sell me barrels. They only sell it by the gallon. I was like, okay, well, I want the barrel because I want to finish a whiskey in it too.
Yeah.
We don't do that, unfortunately. I'm thinking to myself, come on. And then I finally talked them into, okay, we'll sell you the oak for another $100. Perfect. Fine. I'll take it.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, we sold it off. It's getting blended into a fortified wine. I'm like, come on. You're killing me.
Unbelievable. Hey, before we run out of time, and I know you probably have a limited schedule tonight.
We're also drinking a bit of Bullet.
Oh, you got a little, is that a pick or is that just a standard
store pick? I've been buying all the ones I can. They dropped them down to $39.99 around Iowa. So a very, very good deal for what you're getting.
Yeah, nice for it. I've heard some mixed things on this, that some of it is Four Roses. I've heard some of it's Barton, but in terms of what I've seen, most of it all looks like it kind of lines up a little bit more with what Four Roses is doing, to be honest. But
yeah, it does taste like a Four Roses profile. It's got a similar mash bill. But again, for $39.99, 104 proof single barrel, it's a no-brainer at that price point.
I would agree. Jason and I did a pick of that, a couple different barrels of that. So we're looking forward to those. So hey, can we talk a little bit right now about the NASSIF Family Reserve and kind of how this kind of came to light and what is in the bottle? Just for somebody who wins this bottle tonight that's not familiar, I'd like for them to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. NASSIF Family Reserve American whiskey is a traditional blend of American whiskeys, blended in a similar style to blended Scotch as well as Canadian whiskeys. As we had talked about earlier with the Canadian base whiskey and then single grain Scotch, you use the light whiskey as a base whiskey, and then you use the bourbon and the rye as almost flavorings, if you want to call it that, but you use it to add complexity to the base of the light whiskey. So it's about half light whiskey and then a quarter bourbon and rye. The light whiskey is old. It's about 14 to, I guess now 16 for some of it, year old light whiskey. And then you've got around 3-year bourbon and rye. The goal is that you get that vanilla toffee, you have the long finish, the mouthfeel of the light whiskey.
Yep.
And then you get some of the spice and the complexity of the rye and bourbon added on to that. So it kind of builds upon itself to give you a more complex product, and again, a unique product.
You kind of nailed it almost in terms of like the guy who like put this thing together. You kind of had that worded really, really well. So I mean, it's all of that. I think it's kind of what I call like a layered whiskey, because you pick up the nuances of what those blends are. Like the light whiskey shines up front where you get that sweetness and the candy corn and all of that. So you get that like right away, some of the cinnamon, those types of things. And then you start to also, like you said before, you pick up that little bit of that rye spice from the bourbon. Cause I think it's what, a 36% rye or a 36% high rye bourbon, you know, and then mixed with, I think what, a 95.5 rye or something along those lines. So you really pick up the nuances of both of those, which I really appreciate when you get a whiskey that's blended, but you still pick up the layers that are there. So you did a really nice job with this blend in allowing each component to shine on its own, but still be well blended.
Yeah, thank you. And I do think that each component adds a different flavor profile. And instead of, a lot of blended whiskeys go flat. The more you blend, it gets to a peak, and then it just kind of becomes this flat product. I think that it got complex enough and didn't fall flat. I think it builded upon itself instead of just, mellowing out, which happens a lot more than people think.
Well, I was saying before you got on that I was making cocktails like with it over the weekend, and the other bottle I have open, I just left up there because people were raving about the old fashions that I was making, and there's a little bit of what that. The nice part I liked about it is that with that high rye bourbon that's in there and the light whiskey and obviously the rye whiskey, there's a little bit of that like orange citrus that you get in it too. There's a little citrus, which kind of shined a little bit in the old fashioned as well. So it really, really does well, not only as a sipper, but if you're okay, with it as a cocktail whiskey, it's a great cocktail whiskey. So
yeah. We've done a lot of education too with bartenders around the state of Iowa, Minnesota, and I think Tennessee and Florida. We just started, but doing cocktails. I love the Manhattan with the NASSIF Family Reserve. I think an old fashioned is very good. The one that people often overlook is the Highball and the 7 and 7.
Interesting.
Traditionally, Seagram's 7 was a blend of light whiskey, often grain neutral spirit as well, but it had bourbon and rye in it. So I think as an ode to the history of Seagram's, again, Seagram's became MGP, doing a riff on a 7+7 or a 7 and 7, which is really just an Americanized highball, is kind of cool.
I can see where that would really do well. I'm really interested to try this as a Manhattan and see how this with the spice and still the sweetness hold up to like that sweet vermouth that's in there. I'm looking forward to. It's a really nice proof point. I know it's a little high maybe for some people in terms of cocktails, but I like just the balance and complexity that it has. So if you're offering, and people understand that you're not making like a cocktail with like an 80 proof whiskey or 90 proof whiskey, you know, I think people will really, really appreciate this one. So,
oh, absolutely.
Let's see what we got here. Sherry, thank you so much. Cheers to you as well. So, all right, we're almost at the hour point. So, you know, hey, thanks for jumping in. I know you and I talked, and I think what we'll probably also try to do is maybe set something up for down the road and just have a cat's eye night. We'll talk about everything going on, what you've got coming up, all of this. This was, I think, a little introductory to kind of what it is that you guys have going on and what it is you have offering to people. And I think it's important for a lot of whiskey consumers to know more about other people that are doing things in the whiskey world outside of just the big boys. You know, I mean, there's so many other good things. I think people are really, I think more people know about what you guys are doing than, you know, than I'm kind of indicating. I mean, I think it's pretty well known with, you know, the Obtainium and all of that you've got now. But I look forward to kind of just sitting down and having a night and just sharing a little bit more about what you guys have going on, other things coming, and just letting people know a little bit more about you, the brand, and all of that. So thanks for taking a few minutes and just kind of sharing a little bit about you know, Cat's Eye and everything that you guys have going on. So
absolutely, thank you for having me on, and we'll even have to do a pick at some point. I know that that's something that I've had on the back of my mind.
Yeah.
The like ADHD who did the blend. That's something that we're now starting to think about offering to more people. The thing that we're also looking to do, and we've got coming to, I think it's Tennessee and Iowa, but we're finishing the NASSIF Family Reserve in wine casks. So blending it and then finishing it in the wine cask and bottling it. So that's something else to look out for in the interim. And then obviously I talked about the rum coming out later too. But
yeah.
before that, the NASSIF Family Reserve finished in a wine cask will be hopefully out in a couple of weeks.
That'll really be interesting to see kind of the twist. I'll have to get my hands on some of that just to do the little comparison to see, you know, kind of where we're at with the finishing part of it with that. But no, I look forward to all of that. You know, here's one thing you kind of just touched on it real quick, but you know, is blending now for people coming in like in like Jason and I's position to come in and blend something that's different and unique, you know, kind of a new-ish type of single barrel type of thing where no one's going to get what it is that you do. I mean, it's a true unicorn. And I think that's a really cool thing that you guys are doing. If you kind of put that whole program together to allow people to come in and essentially blend or craft their own whiskey or whatever it may be, that's going to be a really cool experience for people to kind of, you know, dive into.
Yeah. And, you know, people before me have done it. High West has done their own blends, although you can't pick what percentage of what. You just pick the finished barrel. And Jeff Mattingly, famously, he did the, you know, he's got his program where you can blend whatever you want in his warehouse, which is a fantastic program. And I think where we kind of stick out is that we're doing something similar, but then we're also coming at you with a great price point. And then we're offering, again, that ability to finish down the road. And that could be good too.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm looking forward to it. And I look forward to eventually like getting down there. I know where you guys are. It's not very far for me, maybe 3.5 hours. So it's a pretty easy drive for me from Wisconsin. So
yeah, where are you in Wisconsin?
I'm just outside Milwaukee. I'm just a little west of Milwaukee. So for me, it's not, I'm not very far. And you guys are in Bettendorf, right?
Yeah, our warehouse is in Bettendorf. I live in West Des Moines, which is the center of Iowa. Okay. But I was going to say my in-laws have a cabin in Webster, Wisconsin. So that's it's really directly east of the Twin Cities.
Yep.
And I've wanted to meet up with people, you know, in the Wisconsin area and just hang out at the lake.
Hey, you let me know if you're ever rolling through, you're coming through and you got a little bit of time, just hit me up. I'm happy to have you over here or meet up somewhere, wherever that may be. But we'll definitely be putting something together. That's for sure. But hey, man, thanks for joining tonight, and we'll be in touch, and we'll hopefully be able to bring something fun to the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club and everybody who's part of that. So thanks again. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. Have a great night.
You too. Thanks, bud. Bye. So there you have it. There was the man of the hour. So, all right. So if Adriana's still in here, why don't we run through, we'll maybe give it a couple more minutes, and either Cheech or if you guys want to let me know how many people we've got entered into the giveaways tonight. You heard a little bit from Gene as to, everything behind, Cat's Eye Distilling or distillery, I should say. And they're doing some really cool things. So I'm excited. It's kind of a small craft, I'll say distillery, but I mean, they're sourcing everything. They're having a good time with all of that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So, all right. So right now we've got 50 participants in the first number that we'll draw will be for the NASSIF. And then, thanks to Darrell for, again, putting in the Bland single barrel. Greatly appreciate it. Well, I'll have to reach out to him and get that stuff kind of all taken care of. So we'll give it another few more minutes. If anybody wants in on either of these, then, throw $5 super chat in there, and we'll get we'll get everybody entered, and we'll draw a couple numbers. And then I'll just do it like through a little randomizer. I'll just ask, who, and we'll get some numbers. So, but yeah, I think I really wanted to, that this hour goes by so fast. It's ridiculous. But what I wanted to also do is just kind of try, maybe I'll do this while we're kind of getting everybody else involved here. Let's see what we've got here. Man, this is really nice. It is. When we were talking about the different layers or the complexity that's there, it's 107 proof, aged light whiskey, 36% high rye bourbon, and a 95.5 rye whiskey, all MGP sourced. So you've got some good products that are going into this really nice blend. So I'm a big fan of it. So. All right, let's see. Let me go back up here, get rid of this. Did I miss that? Okay, so we're at 50. I think we've got a few more people that are in there. So JG, thanks. I appreciate it, buddy. What else do we have here? Or a screw. How's it going? I'm drinking a Bullet store pick from Minnesota right now. Yeah, some of these Bullet picks are really nice, and they've got some aged, basically 4 roses. So you're getting a nice kind of 4 roses pick with a Bullet name on it. So Ryan, thanks, bud. Still looking for an Obtainium, but I'm enjoying the NASSIF blend I picked up. Ryan, what blend or what batch is what batch is that you have there? This one that we're doing the giveaway tonight is batch 9. So appreciate the super chat. Thanks, bud. What else we got here? And what's up, Sean? How's it going, buddy? Thanks for jumping in. Appreciate it. Big Vic, you are in it to win it. That's for sure. So again, it's a couple. We're gonna try to give away the 2 bottles to 2 different people. Hopefully everyone's kind of okay with that. I mean, I want to be fair about things and all of that. We'll have some other fun stuff in there as well. So let's see, Steve, what's Steve say? Haven't been here in a while. I'll donate again. Good luck, everyone. Yeah, good luck to you, Steve. Appreciate you jumping in, bud. I know you and I see each other on FA4 with Cigar Club and all of that. So appreciate it. But yeah, let's do that. So Cheech says, do you want to cut off the entries at 9:15? Yeah, let's do that. What do we have right now? About 8:09. Yeah, let's do that. So 8 or 9:15, wherever you guys are, Central or Eastern time, either 8:15 or 9:15. We'll cut the entries off, and then we'll have we'll run a randomizer. We'll figure out the amount of total entries and go from there. So. And Darrell, thank you so much, man. I greatly appreciate you doing this. Why don't you, if you can, after the stream or now, whenever you want, shoot me an email. You and I will touch base, maybe even work out some other things down the road to do some charity things or some events or whatever. You know, I myself, Jason, part of the Mashin Journey, you know, if we can do some stuff to help other people out for some charities, we're happy to do so. So yeah, I can do that too. Or you can shoot me an email at mybourbonjourney01@gmail.com, or I'll send you a private message on Facebook. That's no problem as well. But thanks again. I greatly appreciate you hanging out tonight and, you know, offering up a bottle, and that's absolutely awesome of you. So thank you so much. Appreciate it. So let's see. Yes, 6 minutes left. Cheech says 6 minutes to go. So get those final ones in. Thanks, Cheech. Appreciate that. I'll just leave that up for a little bit. So, hey, and if anybody ever has any questions, comments, whatever it is, feel free to send me an email. If you want to see a review of something, all of that. I mean, hey, I'm kind of an open book with all of these things. So I just, you know, I'm here to have a good time, you know, shoot the shit with you guys, provide some content. Hopefully some of it's valuable, you know, entertaining, whatever it may be. And, you know, try to bring some good picks between Jason and myself and others that we get involved. We look forward to kind of doing those things and just sharing all of that. Real quick, before we run out of time, the Rye 3, Jason and I were trying to get a date for anybody who was fortunate enough to get one of the bottles of the Rye 3. First, hopefully you guys are enjoying it and it's kind of opening up nicely for you. But we're trying to get a night put together here very soon where we can do basically a Patreon only and just share that experience with all of you guys, all of the people who supported, bought into the Rye 3, all of that. We want to share that time with you. So Cheech, try not to plow through your bottle too quickly. I know you already did one, but we want to put a little Patreon only live stream together for everybody and kind of just participate, sip on some Rye 3, just have a good night with all of that. So what else do we have? And then, yeah, so if there's anybody who's not part of either the My Bourbon Journey Patreon or the Mashin Journey Whiskey Club, you can be part of that just by joining Patreon. Link in the description below. There's probably a bunch of, you know, links that Cheech and everybody has put in the chat tonight. So if anybody is interested in becoming part of the Mashin Journey Whiskey Club, man, we're trying to bring some really good, fun, unique, and different things that you know, that not only would we sip on, but we want to be able to share all of that stuff with you guys. So and we want to offer it to the Patreons first. I mean, you guys are the ones that support us and do all of that. So thank you so much for all of your support. We greatly appreciate it. So Roy, and congrats again to Roy for his retirement. That's awesome, man. I can't wait to eventually get there someday. So yes, the thumbs up is definitely free. Hey, it helps the channel, helps to continue to build it, all of that good stuff. So again, appreciate all of that. So all right, so oh yeah, Booker's Rye review, yeah, LOL. Not gonna happen. I can definitely tell you that, man. That's a story I wish I could, maybe for another night. I've got a really good story about the Booker's Rye and an opportunity I had that I passed up when it first came out, and I don't know. I'm super bitter about passing up on that bottle after being able to try it a couple of times. But anyway, so all right, where are we at? We are at 8:14. We have 1 minute, and so anybody who wants to get in those final super chats, and we will start with the giveaway tonight. So, and again, everybody, thanks for being here tonight. You know, I know it's a Tuesday night, not a lot going on. I know the junkies are on right now. We're a little bit over the time, you know, but hey, I love hanging out with you guys and you know, just kind of chatting and having a good time. I know it's not always super structured or anything like that, but sometimes these are just the fun ones and hanging out and just having a good time. So where are we at? So all right, maybe another minute or so here, and we'll get firing away at the thing. So Cheech, let me know when we're at the final time. So Tony, you're right in it to win it. So Tony Two Toes, love it. Sounds like a person who's in sanitation or part of the mafia, I should say. So yeah, man, great stream. Thanks, bud. I appreciate you joining tonight, and always good to see everybody in here. Lord Schlong, good name, love that. Appreciate you coming in tonight. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. We're having a fun time, and just hanging out with you guys. And this is what I'm passionate about whiskey, and I love sharing it. And hopefully one of these days, I don't know if it's going to happen or not this year. There's so much stuff going on that we wanted to do a meetup this fall. It probably could still happen this fall sometime down in Kentucky between Jason and I. So if people are interested in maybe doing that, let us know through Patreon and all of that. So okay, so it's closed. No more entries. We're good to go. And so Adriana Cheech, or whoever, I think Adriana had the final number. Let me know who or how many numbers there were. This will be the first pick that we're going to do right now. So 55 entries. Thank you, everybody, and thanks everybody for joining tonight. We will do a randomizer between 1 and 55. The first number that gets chosen will be for the NASSIF Family Reserve American whiskey. So, all right, let's do this. We'll run this right now. So it's between numbers 1 and 55. Let's find out right now. Hey, Google, give me a random number between 1 and 55.
Here's a random number, 9.
So it popped up as number 9. It didn't say I've got my little thing over there, but it said number 9. So whoever number 9 is, that is the person who won the NASSIF Family Reserve. So Adriana, let me know who number 9 is. And whoever that is, if you're still in here, send me an email with all your mailing information, and I'll make sure and get this thing out this week. So. All right, so 3.6% chance of winning. That's good. It's better than 0, that's for sure, if there's anything. So my man, Cam Lochner. All right, Cam, send me an email, mybourbonjourney01@gmail.com. I don't know if Cam is still in here or not right now, but hey, congratulations, buddy, on winning batch 9 NASSIF Family Reserve. You're gonna really like it. So I'm glad that you won it. I know you're in a lot of these chats and all of that. So Cam, congrats. That's awesome. So there'll be other ones, man. I'll be getting different things and do all these fun giveaways and all of that. It's fun to kind of get people involved and just kind of, have a good time with it. So, all right. So now we're coming to the second one, and this is going to be for the Blanton single barrel, courtesy of Darrell Stewart. Thank you so much again. He and I will connect. We'll figure out. He'll send off the bottle to the winner tonight, and we'll see who is the fortunate person. So number 9 is excluded. So we'll still go 1 through 55 in terms of the total number, and we'll see what we've got now. So let's do that. And this is going to be again for the Blanton single barrel, and let's do that right now. Hey, Google, give me a random number between 1 and 55.
Here's a random number, 40.
Number 40. Number 40, it said as the winner of the Blanton's single barrel pick. So congrats to number 40, Adriana, who's number 40, and Cam, yeah, send me an email, mybourbonjourney01. Send me all your contact information, including your social security number. Just kidding. Yeah, just send me an email with all that information, and we'll get that bottle and stuff off to you. So glad you won. So Steve Damron, So congrats on winning the Blanton single barrel. That's awesome. So good dude. Glad to see you won it. But and thanks everybody for participating tonight. You know, it's always fun just to get involved in some of these things and just kind of have a good time with it. So I think, you know what, I was considering doing these maybe every other Tuesday, and I don't know if I'll be able to do with summer and everything here every single Tuesday, but I really like to do some of these things, whether they're structured or, you know, just kind of having fun shooting the shit with you guys. A lot of times these are fun where you can just have, you know, really, really good time, you know, just hanging out with you guys, you know, sharing some stuff. I didn't even get to half of what I was hoping to kind of talk about tonight, but maybe next weekend I'll see if I can get Jason or somebody else on, and we'll just have a fun night, talk a little bit. Maybe next week will be good, because then at that point we hopefully will have dropped our 4-gate, our toasted barrel 8-year MGP rye that we're super excited about. And I'll tell you what, it is absolutely fantastic. So again, you know, become part of the Patreon, the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, link in the description below, all of that good stuff. But first and foremost, you know, thanks for everybody for showing up tonight. And I didn't have to just sit here and talk to myself. I had quite a few people in here tonight, so always happy to see all of you guys and have a really, really good time with this. So appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I think I'm pretty sure next Tuesday we'll be back at it. I'll figure out what we'll be doing, but we'll maybe try to find something different and unique for a little giveaway and do all that. But the mods, Cheech, Adriana, thank you so much for all of the work, hanging out all night long. Greatly appreciate everything that you guys do. Can't say thank you enough for all of that. It's a lot of work trying to keep up with the chat and doing all those things. So all the winners, thank you so much. Appreciate all of that. Congrats again on the NASSIF Family Reserve and the Blantons, and we'll make sure to get all these things off to you ASAP. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining me tonight. We will see you guys next Tuesday. And remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers. See you guys next Tuesday evening.